Hey, welcome. This is Jacopo next to me, and my name is Lennart. We're the coaches of the German SailGP team. We are now going into the vlog, the second part of it, and watching San Francisco.
3, 2, 1, here we go.
Och, du Scheiße!
Why is everyone shouting in? Can we clear that up, please?
Viele Zuschauer an der Promenade.
Es wird sehr windig, wild und nass.
Das Warm-up wurde hier jetzt gerade gestoppt.
We are in San Fran and a lot of action happens here every year.
Yeah, San Francisco is always a bit tricky.
Quite a lot of current coming in and out. Generally, San Francisco, it's amazing sailing place. Mid to strong winds, big tides, very close to the city with the Golden Gate Bridge on the background. It's just amazing venue to be sailing in.
And maybe just to take it a little bit into the technical level, actually the tide models are quite important because they are actually factored into the tactical software. So if the tide model is wrong, a lot of the information that the sailors will see on the boat is wrong. So we always double check how well the tide model is and how well it goes into the tactical software.
It's two forecasts, one's really windy and one's medium windy. We're hoping for the really windy one.
Das ist Lola, sie war unser treuer Begleiter
Felix
letztes Jahr,
with his
eigentlich auf dem Chase
little
Boat,
duck.
als ich noch Fahrer war, aber die kommt jetzt mit ihrem Surfbrett mal auf unseren F50 als
I didn't
Glücksbringer.
even know he was
Oh, me
hiding it.
neither. Maybe we have to remove it.
Okay, bring uns Glück, Lola.
Das Warm-up wurde hier jetzt gerade gestoppt. Yeah, I forgot about it. We had to wait a little bit, no, for the whale.
Rennkurs wurde
Ja.
einmal gesichtet.
I didn't see it, did you see?
No, I just heard the guys talking about it.
Jetzt sind wir gerade on hold, aber
Because we actually also had quite a good view on the race course from the location we've been.
Yeah, this is race 1.
6,
Let's hope.
5,
Alright, we'll go.
4, 3, 2,
Why?
Die ganze Flotte
So our first start, race 1, we're basically coming back with too much time to kill, too early, back to the line. And we are in the situation that we call a sitting duck. So we can't do much, we just have to slow down not to get past the line too early. At the same time, all the other boats are coming smoke into the line. So that's a very weak position and we had a bad start. Start 2 was a much better one.
Yeah, the start 2 was much better one at the bottom of the line, then getting around the first mark as number 1 and also defending a long way at least until the leeward gate, but then we made some tactical mistakes along the way.
That's a good fight with Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely had a bit of a situation coming out of gate 3, the upwind gate. We bought away and we had the French on our line just on boundary. We went over boundary to go past them. Penalty was pretty painful and Canada came back and we were back in the mix. And after that we lost another 2 boats. I mean, we had the possibility to win that race, I think, doing normal things. We did just a few too many mistakes and got to P4.
eigentlich sehr gut gestartet, erster am
I love Felix debriefs. I don't understand them because they're in German, but looks very positive.
Yeah, then we're into the third start. Similar situation like the first one. Being a little too early back to the line and having a hard time killing the speed, and then even being over the line at very slow speeds, having to kill an OCS penalty, so being too early.
Yeah, painful to review, but there's plenty to learn. So race 4, not a better start. We were a bit outside. Unfortunately here we didn't manage well the first situation at the boundary after the first mark rounding, and lost a little bit in that situation, and then we were in the mid-pack all race, which is always hard.
Hell of a day, gang.
But absolutely not a positive day. I think
Shit. I need to talk about that.
we really tried our best to get the momentum going on the right way again after every race. We were doing a bad start, then a better start, a good start actually, then a bad start, and we actually had a better start, but another situation issue. Wasn't our day for sure. Yeah, this is quite nice inside in our morning routine. We basically have a morning meeting where we look at the weather and the program of the day from the race committee and try to make a bit of an A plan, if let's say our focus is right, of what we want to do, and also take the lessons from previous day into the actual day. And then we have a physical warm-up, all the sailors trying to warm up bodies and minds. After that they get changed, we do a little regroup and we're ready to go on the boat. Outside, The shore team is on the chase boat, Magic shore team keeping the boat together and making sure that race ready. And then from there on we're back into racing. It's race 5 you go.
Exactly, race 5. We're pretty early into the box and then tacking and ending up very high up on the line with the US just to leeward of us, basically preventing for good acceleration. But I think then we're getting on the outside at Mach 1, which is a tricky situation to be in, because often you only have the option to go all the way to boundary and get boundary protection, you call it, in order to be able to jibe. Getting down like in the mid pack and then basically ending somewhere in the latter part of the mid pack in the race.
Set up this bed, eh?
I think everything that is bottom half of the line is fine.
So this is Lennart at the end of the race trying to make a
To make it easy, I think.
reassessment with the boys and girls on what to do in the next race. It's obvious we struggled with starts that day. It didn't turn out how we wanted.
It's all about kind of always you have an entry time when you want to enter the box. How high you're entering is all depending, like it's all basically the setting up for where you want to be on the line and who you have to deal with. That was a disappointing result. I think we ended up coming last into the race, and then there was this very spectacular. Oh, that's a good pause, huh, Jacopo? It was very close. We could all hear it on the comms, and I think Stu was doing a really good job of getting everyone back into the boat.
6, 5,
Holy shit! Carry
2,
on!
1, gun.
Race on.
Because obviously it's a big distraction. But that was one of the, good starts, I would say. I mean, we were managing pretty well in getting up to speed, even though it was further up the line.
We've just heard news now that everyone is safe on that Australian boat.
Obviously it was good to know that the Australians were all good. I mean, it's serious damage. It's a bit the reason why now we're not in Rio. But yeah, basically the wing collapsed. We don't really know exactly the reason, but the reason was well assessed. And now they're doing all the repairs needed to have them safely work in New York. You gotta be creative, absolutely, in this downtime, because there's very little sailing time for a new team in SailGP. Going back to the race, basically, after the initial shock of the Australian dismasting, we ended up in a pretty nice position at Mach 1. We're quite in a good position at the leeward gate. We went around the left gate at the bottom, doing this decision that actually was good in most of the races, except for this one. Not the luckiest moment. And we kind of paid this bottom gate decision through all the upwind and actually got back in the fleet again. Obviously there's a bit of improvement that the team has to make. When we're in the pack, as a tendency, we kind of get stuck at the back of it, while we're really trying hard to be able to fight for gaining position.
But there were also many things that we were doing well and better. I think communication is at an okay level. Of course, we still need to work on it and get it even better, and we just spent some time here in Kiel working on communication. There were penalties, especially on boundaries, that were unnecessary and unforced. Should be pretty easy to not do again. All in all, it was a bad event, basically. Atmosphere was really down at the end of the event in the sailing team. But now with a bit of distance and a bit of work on the analysis side already, we're feeling confident going forward, and we're really waiting to get back on the race course to show that this is not the level that we're at.
We're really working hard on all the data side to make the boat go faster, to make the handling work better, so we can really go in New York and after that into the European season, especially in sustenance.
Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel and comment whenever you have questions or comments, or you think you might know things better. Let us know. We're gonna read it.
Ciao!